This video provides you with an overview of the Human Subjects Research Review process at Kent State University and is provided by the Office of Research Compliance. Kent State University policy dictates that all research involving human subjects be reviewed and approved by the Institutional Review Board, or IRB, prior to initiation. The IRB, a key component of the Human Subjects Protection Program at Kent State, shares responsibility for the protection of human subjects with investigators, the Office of Research Compliance, the IRB Policy Committee, and research subjects themselves. The IRB has the responsibility and authority to ensure that research involving human subjects is designed and conducted in an ethical manner that protects the rights, dignity, welfare, and privacy of research subjects. At Kent State, this mission is accomplished by an application system of review, continuing or periodic review of research, development of policies, procedures, and educational presentations, and the ethical conduct of research by investigators. The IRB is a committee constituted of members with varying expertise and qualifications. Members are appointed by the Vice President for Research and include faculty, staff, medical professionals, and community members. The Office of Research Compliance facilitates the IRB review process and helps to ensure comprehensive protection for the human subjects volunteering for research by working closely with the IRB as well as other units within the university. For example, the Office of General Counsel, the HIPAA Privacy Officer, Lab Safety, and sponsored programs. KSU full-time faculty and professional staff are eligible to serve as the principal investigator on IRB applications and have overall responsibility for the study. Students conducting research for the purpose of their thesis, dissertation, practicum, or other class project can be listed as a co-investigator, and they too are responsible for the ethical conduct of the project and confidentiality of the data collected. The IRB review process begins when an IRB member, also known as a discipline-specific reviewer, receives an IRB application and related documents for review. The reviewer assesses the application and communicates with investigators regarding any modifications or clarifications that are needed prior to the application being sent to the Office of Research Compliance with a recommendation for final review and approval. A list of discipline-specific reviewers and their contact information is available from our website. If you don't see a reviewer on the list that represents your specific college or department, choose a reviewer that has expertise somewhat similar to your area. For example, if your research is in translation studies, you could contact a reviewer from communications. Feel free to contact the Office of Research Compliance for guidance if you have any questions. Once the application reaches the ORC, an IRB log number is assigned and investigators are notified of this number in an email. Please be sure to retain this information for your records and use that log number in the subject line when corresponding with the ORC about the project. After conducting a final review, the ORC sends a final approval email to investigators. For studies reviewed as Level 2 Expedited or Level 3 Full Board, investigators also receive an IRB-approved stamped copy of the consent form. This is the form to be used to consent participants into the study. Research involving human subjects receives one of three types of IRB review. Level 1, exempt from annual review, Level 2, expedited review, and Level 3, full board review. As the risk for participants increases, so does the level of review and time for review. Studies that qualify for exempt from annual review have little to no risk for the participants. It includes research commonly conducted in educational settings involving normal educational practices, anonymous surveys, or interviews on topics that are not particularly sensitive in nature. Exemptions can be granted by the discipline-specific reviewers or the Office of Research Compliance and are valid for 3 years. Any major changes, however, to the research must be reviewed prior to implementation to be sure that the changes do not move the research out of the exemption category. Studies that qualify for expedited review have no more than minimal risk for the participants. Examples include clinical studies of drugs and medical devices already approved by the FDA. Studies that involve the collection of blood samples by finger stick, heel stick, ear stick, or venipuncture. Collection of data from voice, video, digital, or image recordings. Studies that require a review from the full board involve more than minimal risk for the subjects, or includes vulnerable populations that require additional protections. For example, research that involves the collection of sensitive information about drug use or child abuse. Investigators conducting studies needing review from the IRB must plan to attend an IRB meeting to discuss the project with the board. If the research is to be conducted for the purposes of a student thesis, dissertation, or class project, both the student and the PI for the study must attend the IRB meeting. Requests for attendance at a fully convened IRB meeting should not be interpreted as punitive. Rather, it's an opportunity for investigators and the IRB to work collaboratively to ensure that the research is designed in the best way to meet the research objectives and the regulatory requirements, including the requirement to reduce the risk for participants. One of the questions we most often get is, how long does it take to get IRB review and approval? The fact of the matter is that investigators have more control over this than they believe. Applications that are clearly written, meet the ethical and regulatory requirements, and are submitted for review with all of the required documentation, including the documentation for completion of human subjects training, receive review and approval much more quickly than those that do not. Keep in mind that this video is not meant to provide you with a comprehensive list of research that qualifies for each of the 3 types of review. Instead, it provides you with more of an overview so that you can get the general idea, but please be sure to check back to our website. We will continue to develop resources and documents that provide more detail about each of the types of review. IRB forms are available from the Research Compliance website. You can get there by going to www.kent.edu/research. Click on the Resources tab, and then on the RASP intranet icon that's available on the left. The IRB applications are available from the Human Subjects Forms page. When you complete an IRB application, please pay particular attention to the information that we provide in blue text under many of the questions. We put it there to help you understand the regulatory requirements. When seeking initial review for your research, there are 2 types of IRB applications available. Research that qualifies for exempt from annual review should be submitted on a Level 1 exempt from annual review form, and all other research involving human subjects needing initial review should be submitted on a Level 2/3 research application. When you visit the Forms page of our Research Compliance intranet site, you'll see a list of appendices that are available. These appendices only need to be completed when the IRB needs supplemental information to ensure that the regulations are being met. For example, when your research involves deception or prisoners or is conducted outside of the United States. Indications for when you must complete an appendix for an attachment to an application are provided on the Level 1 exemption forms or the Level 2/Level 3 application forms. They're highlighted in yellow and they link directly to the form. Should you want to make any major changes to your study after receiving your initial IRB approval, you'll need to complete an amendment or change form. The form is available from our website, and you can submit the form directly to the Office of Research Compliance for review. Also available from our website are a number of templates as well as other resources. For example, if you were unsure whether or not your project needed IRB approval at all, you could complete an IRB determination form. We hope you will take advantage of all of the resources available on our website. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for your attention during this overview, and please be sure to check back to our website often for additional videos that will provide more detail about each of the categories included in the review levels. If you have suggestions for content that you would like to see covered in future videos, please reach out to us at researchcompliance@kent.edu.